Greetings, mortals. It's a brand new day and a fresh start. I am Prometheus, and today I bring you the fire of Get. Has this ever happened to you? Suppose you're working on, for example, an internet video. There's an image like this. Now, your client gives you a specification. Can you put an X on the screens of the phones? Later, you find out it's supposed to be the other kind of X. So now what you have to do is retrieve the old version of the file and then work from there. How about another scenario? You're working on something and you save what you think is the final version. Then later you decide maybe that isn't final, so you save another. And then it happens again, and then again, and then again, and again, and again. There's a better way to get control of all these versions. True story from way back when I worked on a game. Us programmers tossed in some placeholder music while we worked on the battle music system. Then, as the sound designer worked, he was able to replace our temporary stuff with his finished stuff directly. Seamless collaboration. Here's how. For this example, we're going to have a multimedia art project, just to show that both are possible. We're both writing a book and drawing a picture. Step 1, install. Install any GUI client you like. I have Sublime Merge here. Step 2, create repo. Create a folder to be your repository. This is your workspace, the real file, and the supporting stuff. Hop over to Sublime Merge. Create a repository in that folder. It'll store its own stuff in a hidden subfolder called .get. Step 3, art. Do your thing. I don't know, you're the creative one. In our example, we'll write a chapter of our book and start drawing our picture. Step 4, stage. We're going to gather our stuff up into a commit. So we're staging changes for it. Stuff we want to keep track of, like the specification of a commission, we track. But stuff like Microsoft Word's autosave backup clutter, we don't. In fact, we ignore them. Step 5, describe. When you're looking through it later, you'll probably want to search for this text. Also, the date will be recorded automatically. Step 6, commit. This step is really just hitting the button. On the first commit, it's going to ask for your name and email. Doesn't matter what you put. We have created a commit. We've saved our game, we've made a version, even if it isn't necessarily a final version. Ideally, you make one commit per thing you do, and what counts as one thing is up to your discretion. Step 7, go to 3. You know how Da Vinci said, art is never finished? Go back to your real work. Step 8. Theoretically, you're done. Do all of the above. Get good at it. It'll help you out. But hang on a second, we're getting to the cool part. Step 9. Revert a commit or file. Or, how do we get the old version back? You know what? I don't like the direction I've gone for this. Wouldn't it be great if we could turn back time? I got this individual file, click the 3 dots, and revert. You could do a whole commit too. Step 10, branch and merge. Maybe I want to keep the old direction while I'm at it. Let's have a branch in the timeline. Pick your diversion point, right-click, create branch. Let's call it demo branch. Automatically, we check out that branch, and we're in the alternate timeline. Commit my stuff there. Let's jump back to main, right-click, check out main. These branching paths are leading to the same direction. Let's merge them into one. Right-click, merge demo branch into main. Step 11, push and pull with remotes. What if the branch lived on a different computer? One that you and your collaborators can all reach. Upload all of our stuff by pushing commit. Fetch them back down, and we have a branch called origin main. Fetch and merge in one command, and we call that pulling.
That's it? That's it.
All of that is evangelizing and surface level use. Like if you had a car, but you had so much money you just took it to a dealer for any and all service other than filling it with gas. Let's learn the equivalent of changing your own oil. I mentioned we ignore a file we don't want to track. To do that, we just add the file name to a file called .gitignore. We can also do directories or patterns. Stashes are fake commits that don't get pushed. Great for temporarily leaving stuff on one branch to jump to another. Or for wait, what if I try a different approach? Suppose you had a version that is a final version. Definitely for really real this time. Tag it. Tags are mostly for your benefit. This one is sadly only useful for plain text files, but you can look at which lines were updated and by who on what commit. Literally, Git can help you figure out who to blame, and sometimes it isn't yourself, which is always fun. Armed with this knowledge, you have a system to help you control all of your versions. Hopefully, you're convinced that this method is less insane than an ever-growing horde of final, underscore no, underscore really, underscore this, underscore time, 2.psd. Hopefully, you're also ready to collaborate with others. How about another cool trick? You'll have to bust out the command prompt for this one, but the possibility exists. Suppose you're playing a game with a weird-ass save system like Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. Let's find that game's save file directory. Initialize it as a repository. Stage all those files. Make an initial commit. Now I pull out the command prompt, go to that directory, and launch this script I wrote. Wait 10 minutes, add everything, give it a terribly generic description, commit, and loop. I'll provide the script in the show notes. Obligatory reminder to only ever run trusted code. So you've hit an issue. Here's some common ones. This is all easy and simple when no two people touch the same file at the same time. Git, as opposed to SVN and others before it, is the best so far at narrowing it down to which parts of a file were touched so people can work closer without stepping on each other's toes when the file is plain text. If your program produces a file that it doesn't want you poking around in, generally stick with resolve using theirs. You're the most qualified person to figure out which of your changes need to be reintegrated. Be sure to make a note that says, I used the version on the server or something. It's infuriating enough when your teammates stomp out your changes, so the software itself is sure as hell going to avoid it when it can. I mean, we're not Apple here. You're the one at the helm. So it sees you have stuff in that directory that maybe you don't want thrown in the trash, and it's saying you need to tell it what to do about it first. Probably just make a commit and try whatever you were doing again.
That's it? That's it.
For really real this time.